Hey guys, we're back and I'm going to be making my second impression mat for the soap challenge, my second soap that I'm going to do, and we'll choose from there which one I submit. This one's going to be a blue and white china porcelain sort of look to it. I've got some of these Asian looking charms that I'm going to use in my mat, and it's going to be blue and white soap, and it's got a bergamot and white tea fragrance that we're going to do. Baby's down here with me, as you can probably tell by all the noise, so I apologize. I'm going to end up fast forwarding through the boring parts of this video, but I want to show you what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and get mixing here. Right now I'm actually going to be measuring about where I'm going to be cutting these, because each design on each soap, sorry about that, the design on each soap is going to be the same, and I really, really want it to be centered. So I'm actually going to make cutting marks in the impression mat of where it needs to be cut. So as I'm placing everything inside, I also know where to put it to be centered. Okay guys, we are all done with my impression mat here. There's inevitably going to be the trimming off of the edges and everything once this sets up. I was using my little skewer here to make sure these got pressed in. These little filigree doodads, they're definitely very tiny, and I really wanted to press them in and try to get them as even as possible. The ones I did in the center of each one aren't going to be as deep as the others because it was towards the end. I wasn't even sure if I was going to do them or not, but I decided I might as well give it a shot. So these might not, the middle ones might not be as, no, it's okay, might not be as deep as the others, but either way, that's sort of the design we're going for, and the impressions are going to be blue against white. Oh, we're going to leave this part just blank white too. I kind of like that this is more of a square shape. When I was playing around, I was just kind of pressing them or putting them in my empty mold to kind of arrange it, and I liked it better when it was closer together than when it was separated out. I just think that it looks better that way. So we will give this a couple hours to set up. I'm going to take all the stuff out and get it ready for the soap that I'm going to make. So thank you for watching. Hey guys, I'm back. I went ahead and trimmed up and removed the charms from this impression mat. I didn't want to make a super long video like I did with my other one for this challenge. If you want to see me trimming my mat and taking the charms out, please check out my other December 2015 soap challenge video, and you can see that right there. Here's a close-up of one of them. One thing I noticed on the edge of my little koi fish guys right here, like the insides of the charms left this kind of weird black residue thing on my mold, so hopefully that doesn't really come across in my soap. We'll just have to wait and see. And I don't think this will show up on the soap, but the detail of the fish's face and everything, those little scales that were all on the charm, did show up on the impression mat, so I'm pretty excited about that. The corners are kind of weird though, just because of the way I did my cookie cutter situation, but that's okay. Hopefully I can trim those edges off and it doesn't make any difference, but it fits really nicely in my box mold here. Get that out of the way for now. On my olive oil, right here I have aloe vera liquid, which is actually the organic aloe vera juice that you get at the grocery store that you can drink for your health and helps your guts and stuff. And I made my lye solution with that. It's been discounted 10% and it has the sodium lactate. It's got a really yellow, weird kind of viscous texture. Wanted to show you that, but it makes a really silky, amazing bar. It is kind of yellow though, and we're doing a white and blue soap, so I'm really hoping that doesn't make a huge difference. I'm able to counteract that with the titanium dioxide. Hopefully I can, because my olive oil is also not very white either. I'm going to blend this up here. Alrighty, I went ahead and I super fatted my soap with some Takuma butter, which is one of the more higher end butters. It's very silky soft. It's got 3 different fatty acids in it. I can never remember how to pronounce them, but it's very fatty acid rich, and it's particularly good for leaving the skin soft and supple and that sort of luminous, dewy look. And my fragrance too. I love this fragrance. Oh my gosh, I got it just for this recipe. It's bergamot and white tea. The tea notes are really strong. It isn't too strong on the bergamot. I mean, you can smell it, but it's not like overpoweringly bergamot, but it's just like a really good, rich tea scent. Oh, more crashing upstairs. That was the gate. I could tell. It was probably the dogs. Anyways, and this should behave really well in the cold process that we're doing. And it also should not discolor or race on us too quickly or anything. That's still got some tiny little bit of my thick aloe lye liquid in here. I'm going to reuse this container, but I need to get this last bit out. So let me add this to my full batch here. Then I got to reuse that container. So let me blend this real quick. I apologize. Okay, we didn't want that sitting at the bottom of this container when I'm adding my colors. Doing 2 colors here, just white and blue. I'm going to end up using ultramarine for my blue and titanium dioxide for my white, because that's the ultramarine is the best blue that I'm used to working with. I'm trying to look at my beakers so I can get the accurate marking of how much I'm going for. Okay, gotta split this up evenly. Still very pourable, which is a good sign. I do think the other fragrances I did for this challenge, the other soap, caused some slight acceleration. We were already pretty thick at this point in that batch. Okay, my beaker says we're about even. What? Okay, now my beaker says we're about even. I'm going to shake up my diluted colorants here. Oh, this fragrance smells really amazing. Really, really good. You want a healthy dose of color in here because I want it to be bright white and bright blue, but I don't want to do too much. So we're probably going to do a little bit more than I usually do. So I usually go pretty light on my colorants. I'm going to need to blend these pretty well because unlike mica, they can kind of clump up. Having them pre-diluted in my bottles here does help a bit. But I still want to make sure I don't get any little freckles or anything like that. Some people like to dilute their colorants, especially ones that aren't micas, in like alcohol or glycerin or something like that. Which is probably a pretty good idea. I've never tried that though. Okay, that should be good for now, but it's not too much. I'm going to blend up my white first and then my blue, because I want to not get blue into my white batter. Clean this up here. Alright, blending time. I'm going to add a touch more titanium. That's usually about as white as I get. This shade here, but I want you to touch whiter. It'll still probably end up being off-white, but I'm okay with that. I just don't want it to be yellow. Okay, we're still very liquid, too. It's definitely a fragrance situation last time where my batter got super gloopy. Okay, blue. Okay, that's really all the blending I'm going to do. It is medium to thick trace, which is nice, but it's not super thick. It wouldn't be bad if it was a little bit thicker. I think it's going to go into the mold crevices just fine though, and I might actually be able to do some kind of swirling with my top layer. I'm going to do something very similar to my first impression matte soap, in which I'm going to smush my blue in. I'm going to do a layer of white, a mica line, and then the swirled soap base on top of that. So I'm going to get to it with my blue. Alrighty guys, essentially this is as good as it's going to get. Is getting into each of the little indentations of my mold. It's going to be more of a color contrast, blue and white, compared to my other soap where they were just really dull colors, kind of. But I think it's still this is gonna pop. These are pretty deep. It was tricky getting it in there because these little guys, these small corner guys, were really hard to, they were thinner and they were harder to get the impression to stick out evenly. But I'm still, that's about as clean up as I'm going to get it without end up scooping it out of where it's supposed to be. Oh, I forgot to tap it. I see a bubble. 1 second. Got 2 little bubbles here. I'm just going to fill them with my fingertip. Here we go. Glad I caught that. Now it's time for white. I'm tilting my mold to get it in there. I don't want to push, really. I want it to just fall into all the corners. Nice thin layer. And I'm going to swirl the rest of the blue and white together. I'm going to tap this out real quick too. 1 second. Okie. Time for the mica line. Just have some white sparkle mica. That's what this is called. And I'm going to do the line in this one. It'd be really nice with some blue mica, but all my blue mica is mixed up. I knew I should have saved one of my little pouches, but too late now. Too late now. Alright, got my sifter. Just gonna, this is very fine mica, so I gotta be careful when I'm dumping it out. Not a big block in one area. I want to get it as even as I can. Actually got some in my sifter now. Let's lightly shake it out. Yep, that's one of these. Gotta blow on it. Not fun. Sparkle boogers later. Alright, one more blow for good measure. Okay. Whew. Now, let's see how to swirl these 2 stone batters that I have left. It'd be fun to do like a Clyde slide. I've not done that before. Let me get an empty bucket. Okay, here we go. Got an empty container. All my big beakers are being used right now, so I don't have that. Doing this will help my bottom layer solidify enough where I can pour on top of it too. I'm going to just do a Clyde slide technique, which if you've ever seen Clyde over at Vibrant Soaps, he makes really awesome videos, and I really enjoy watching him. He came up with this technique. It was a soap challenge recently that I did not participate in because I had no idea about the soap challenge at that time. My loss. But basically, I'm just going to pour and pour, colors rotating, and then you pour it all together and it makes a cool feathery pattern. Getting thick over here though, which is actually not a bad thing. I'm not mad at that. Oopsie. Alrighty, that's essentially all there is to it. That was a little more of a Clyde plop than a slide, I think, but it's still going to be pretty cool, I think, when I pour it into my mold here. And essentially, you just let it swirl as you're pouring it out, and it kind of does its own thing, from what I understand. So it'll be interesting to see how it looks when it's cut. I don't even want to swirl this. I want it to just be the way it is because I think that's fabulous. I'm going to tap it out. All tapped. I'm not going to touch it, guys. I'm going to leave it just like this. Do those swirls make you think of fine china or what? They do me. They definitely do for me. And when we unmold it tomorrow, the lines will be right there telling me where to cut. And hopefully it turns out amazing. Alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hello, party people. We're back with my unnamed blue and white porcelain style soap with a tea scent. I still don't know what to call it. Popped it out of its mold. Oh, the top just makes me so happy. Rarely do I not even touch a top. But I love how this turned out. This little curly key looks like a seashell to me. I think that's kind of cool. And we are going to peel off the impression mat now. I'm actually feeling some anxiety about this. Like the pressure's on. This is better turn out awesome. And we're about to find out together. So, here we go. Ta-da! Came off perfectly clean and amazing. It has been less than 24 hours. I'm sure some people, when I told them that I can do that with my olive oil soaps, they would believe me. But it is what I'm doing. Check it out. I'm pretty excited about that. Even the fine detail in my fish does show up, and let the camera focus on that. Come on, camera. Come on, camera. Focus. There it is. Look at the detail on those little fishies. It's not perfectly clean. Like, there is that little bits of blue around there, but I kind of knew that was going to happen. I got it as clean as I could without scooping the soap out of my impressions. So, pretty good if you ask me. I've got nice cutting lines, so I know where to cut. let's see the inside here. I'm gonna get my camera positioned. Flip this way so I can see my cutting lines. Smells good. Oopsie. It's in its safe spot. Some of the reviews on this fragrance said that it kind of smells like white tea and ginger, but a little bit better. And I've made a soap with white tea and ginger, and it honestly, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't my favorite at all. Kind of just meh. This, however, this is amazing. I love this fragrance, and I'm going to probably end up making something out of it again. Maybe I'll make this exact soap again. I usually just make different kinds of soaps unless I get a really good response from them, and then I'll reuse the recipe. It doesn't happen often though. Down the middle. A little bit wavy there. Oh, the swirls are so cool. Look at that. Didn't even end up with the even white line, which is fine. I just think it's kind of funny how that happened. Alright. We'll do this side though, because it's easier when I'm not doing it with a big chunk. Alright. Something special right there. These inside swirls turn out super cool though. I really like it. That was my first Clyde slide too, technically. Oh, super nice. And my China pattern image is pretty well centered. I'm getting a little wiggles from my wire cutter. I think I need to tighten it or something. It's not going straight down. It's slightly curved. Let me tighten that up. Wrong way. Okay. I didn't end up beveling my skeleton key soap, my secret garden. I didn't want to chop off any pieces of the keys that I didn't have to, so I didn't bevel it at all. I don't always bevel either. I just don't always feel the need. But I think I'm going to bevel this one, especially because we have my cutting imprint marks there a little bit. Boom. Super cool swirls. And it really did show up quite nice, my impression. I like it. Slice this guy's end off. Just a titch. Too much titch. Boom. Oh, the swirls are freaking cool. I really like it. Wahaha. And the backs are awesome. Alright, on to my next slab. I don't know about you guys, but when something goes the way you want it to, or at least pretty darn close, it is an amazing feeling. I'll be in a good mood all day because of this soap. Whoops. End piece. These will be samples, so any orders placed in the future, and these are cured, we'll be sending these out. Getting a good response from the soap samples I've been sending with orders. I used to keep all of the ends, but I used to not make that much soap. It's really only been in the past 3 or 4 months that I've been super inspired with my soap making and have been trying new techniques and learning and making a ton of soap. Oh wow. Look at those swirls. The mica line, because it was that silvery glitter that really has no color, or the mica or whatever it is, you can't really even tell that there's a mica line there. I mean, we know that it's there, but you can't really see it. That's fine. because it's amazing, and the white base is really what we were going for anyways. Okay, one more cut to do. And technically two, because we're going to cut the other guy's end off. Boop. Loving it. Loving it. There's that. See what I mean? How it's like a kind of a curve? I don't know what that's about. Maybe it's my hand screwing it up. But yeah, I'm going to bevel that off because that's the edge, and bevel that edge. So these will be beveled. Gotta let them cure a little bit though, or end up taking off way too much soap. Trim this guy's last little end. And then the other ends I'll wait on. Maybe I'll try my planer again. If you happen to get to this video and you're part of the soap challenge, or you just have an opinion on which one you like better, this soap or the Secret Garden soap. This one's kind of crooked, but we'll be taking that off so it'll be more centered. If you got an opinion on which one you like the best, feel free to let me know. I still don't know which one I'm going to enter into the competition, so any advice you got on that would be greatly appreciated. Set these up at an angle. Oh, this one's going the wrong way. Here we go. I'll do a zoom for you. Thank you guys for watching. It's been super fun making these impression mats and making some really awesome soap with them, so I'm excited about that. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did, or even a portion of how much I did making these. If you enjoyed watching it, at least half that much. Alrighty, done rambling. Thank you guys. Have a great one.